is Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we discussed about pointer addition and pointer subtraction. We had seen that in order for us to add pointer addresses or to subtract pointer address, will depend on two things. One, it will depend on the machine type, either it is a 64-bit or 32-bit, and the last one, or the second one, is the size of pointer data type. And we have seen that the number of a pointer, the data type of a pointer actually will influence how addition or subtraction it is done. If actually it is a 16-bit, then it will have that particular number which is added or subtracted multiplied by 2. Otherwise, if it is a 32-bit, it will be multiplied by 4. So today we are going to take up another session, and on that particular session we are going to ask a question: what is a pointer comparison? And into that particular journey we are going to define what's a pointer comparison, and then look at an algorithm, and finally implement it in Dev C++. So let's look at the definition. What's a pointer comparison? So pointers actually can be compared into two ways. One, we are saying it can be compared against other pointer variable, and two, it can be compared with a normal variable. So these are the two ways actually how it can be done. And however, this comparison, it is done using what you call relational operators. And you've seen in our previous lessons the symbols of relational operators. There will be less than, or less than equals. There will be greater than equals, or should be equal, or not equal. So these are actually the 6 relational operators which are used for any programming languages. So let's take us into a simple algorithm and to try to understand how does comparison actually work. So let's take, for example, if I've got a variable here, a with a value of 10, another variable b with a value of 20, and then I declare some pointers. Let's say this is pointer 1 and we have a pointer 2. So with that particular pointer, so basically what I say, it is very simple. I assign my pointer 1 to the address of A. Now I assign my pointer 2 to the address of B. So what will happen? Basically, if this is my memory and have got two values, a value of A which holds a variable A which holds 10 and a variable B which holds 20. And let's take, for example, this is address 220 and this is 224. So what happens? It is this particular variable will point to the value, and this is the value it's going to point into, and this value of B is going to point to this particular value. Therefore, our comparison basically will be very simple. Our comparison will be this pointer A, if it is 1, if it is less than pointer B, then it will return true, while if pointer 1 it is greater than pointer 2, it will return false. And if pointer 1 is equal to pointer 2, then also will return up false. So basically, this is how you can compare pointer variables. So let's go to Dev C++ and see if actually we can implement the same. So in Dev C++, we are going to use up an if statement actually to compare. So let's initialize our two variables. So we have got int a equals to actually 10 and our b equals to 20. And then from there, actually we declare our two pointers, p1 and our pointer p2, and also we terminate. And then from here now, we actually we assign p1 to a, we assign the address of p1 to a, and the address of p2 we assign it to b. From here, what do? We put up an if statement. If, now we are comparing, if our pointer p1, that's a comparison, is less than our pointer p2, then do something. So this is the comparison part of it. Let's see how it works. So with this particular logic, maybe he will say our printf, the value of p1, and then inside here we put up our percentage %d, the value of p1 less than the value of p2, the value of p1 is less than the value of p2. So basically that's what we are saying, and we are passing on our values, we are passing on our variables, that is p1 and another variable p2. So basically if it is true, if this is true, then this particular message should be printed. Otherwise, or else if this is false, let's see what happens. We want also to printf. And what are we printing? Actually here, the value of, that is p1 so here we are putting up not equal to p2. And of course here we are putting up our p1 and our p2. So basically this is the logic. So let us run and see what will happen to this particular logic. So let's execute this particular program. Okay, when we execute this particular program, we have seen an if statement actually getting it out and saying the value of p1, which is 10, should be less than the value of p2. So basically we have seen how it has been demonstrated. Let's go back again and change up the change up the sign here, and now we change up the sign into greater than. So this will return up false. So this particular statement will not be executed, but the second statement, the one will be executed. Let's run and see what happens. So when we run this particular one again, we are seeing that the value of P1, which is 10, is not equal to the value of P2, which is it is 20. So basically that is how we have demonstrated into our comparison of a pointer. And what are we comparing? We are actually trying to compare and see that pointers actually can be compared. And that is actually make us the end of this particular session until into our next session, whereby we are going to discuss about array of pointers. However, don't forget to subscribe into our next session, and for now I say bye.